Good morning. I hope everybody's been keeping up with their one-year Bible reading and keeping up with your challenge. We're about halfway through. A little Old Testament, a little New Testament, a song, and a proverb. And we'll have the entire Bible read this year. We're still studying in the Old Testament in the book of Chronicles, that long genealogy. We're studying about our spiritual roots, and we believe it was written by Ezra, and he's covering our religious history as it relates to Israel and Judah. Now, he doesn't give an exhaustive work, mind you, but he's very selective about who he writes about, kind of a book of who's who in our spiritual heritage. And he also highlights some events that have spiritual lessons for us today. So don't skip over it. I know it gets a little long sometimes. Now, why is all of this important to us? Because this is our spiritual roots too. It's our spiritual heritage. If you're a believer, then these people that we've been reading about, they're your ancestors too. And if you read over it too fast, you're going to miss some treasures. Slow down and see some of these teachable moments in our history. And then in the New Testament, we're still reading about Paul. And remember how Paul teaches us a good method of communicating to people when you're trying to talk to them about the gospel? He used to use Jewish law, but Paul's showing us something different now. This week we've been reading how he used nature and how God reveals himself in the nature that he's created. He said, "For since the world was created, people have seen the earth and sky, and they can clearly see his qualities and his eternal power." Now remember, I'm not saying that you can go out on a boat on Sunday and go fishing and enjoy nature and call that church. But what he is saying is that they have ignored the truth and preferred to use their own foolish ideas about religion. And I emphasize that because we're seeing that today, because we're getting a lot of strange things being taught today. You know, like there's many ways to heaven. Abortion is now freedom of choice. And we hear what Paul has to say about that. Our gospel has been manipulated for a convenient religion. And here's what Paul says. He said that they have abandoned what they believed, and God abandoned them to do whatever shameful things their hearts desired. So that is why I would say today, as we're living in the last days, that Paul has given us a warning. A lot of strange teaching out there. Make sure you're firmly rooted in what you believe and stay in the Word. So let's continue reading, and we'll pick up on some valuable lessons that Paul has to teach us next